Spiritual Gumbo, Isaac, understanding his mission. See, many a times when we read the story of Isaac, we will sometimes forget that a man raised his sons, and his sons were among him for many years until they married and actually left off from them. Now, what is so great about this, what is so amazing about this, is that if we actually understand the concept and the idea of what took place, that it wasn't, he didn't, listen, the Most High God did not say, I will make sure only the 12 tribes of Jacob inherit the land and take it over. No, he said, I will make sure that your seed inherits the land. Giving no indication to which branch of the seed of Abraham would be in control of the land or what portions of it. Simply that his seed would be in control of it. So when we understand this concept, it is easier to appreciate what we're about to read and why we must understand Isaac's struggle, his mission, his story is one that should not be made lesser of. In fact, it should be put on the spotlight. Where do you think Jacob and Esau were when Isaac was fighting? But we'll get to these things. Let us read. Verse 6 of Genesis chapter 26. And Isaac dwelt in Gerar. Remember, there's a famine in the land. He's told by the Lord not to go down into Egypt, but to dwell in the land. Listen to this. Verse 7. And the men of the place questioned him concerning Rebekah, his wife. And he said, she is my sister. For he feared to say, she is my wife, lest at any time the men of the place should slay him because of Rebekah, because she was fair. Now, let me go ahead and tell you something. If you guys don't understand what's going on, this is an indication that if a woman was fair, that might get you killed. Wow. Right? And even furthermore, the reason why you get killed is because you're not of the land. And she's not of the land. So who's going to say anything? Come on. Anyway, this is the land of the Philistines. And he remained there for a long time. Isaac is speaking on. And Abimelech, the king of Gerar, this is the same Abimelech who dealt with his father, leaned to look through the window, and saw Isaac sporting with Rebekah, his wife, holding her arm in arm, hand in hand, something like that. And Abimelech called Isaac and said to him, is she then thy wife? Why hast thou said, she is my sister? Lest at any time, And Isaac said to him, I did so, for I said, lest at any time I die on her account. And Abimelech said to him, why hast thou done this to us? One of my kindred within a little had lain within thy wife, or almost had lain with thy wife. And thou wouldst have brought a sin of ignorance upon us. Now stop right there. The only way this could have happened, the only way this could have potentially happened, is if what? Is if what? Rebekah put herself in a position to have that almost have happened. Now, we can say she came to her senses and whatever, or the situation was ruined, whatever. We will never know. I don't know. But what I can infer from this is that women have always had this sense of doing their own thing, and they really don't care, And that's not a shot at Rebekah. That's just an observation. Because it's not just Rebekah who I can put this on. I can lean that to Sarah as well, right? Abraham's actual biological sister through his father. Not just a sister in my tribe. Keep it pushing. Verse 11. And Abimelech charged all his people, saying, every man that touches this man and his wife shall be liable to death. And Isaac sowed in that land. And he found in that year barley an hundredfold. And the Lord blessed him. Stop right there. So, apparently, you must realize that every single land that the Israelites would be around did not have people who were just completely lawless and had no sense of morals and ethics. Okay? It was just that the Most High God's morals and ethics, statutes and injunctions, if you will, are so much greater, so much holier than any so-called God could impose upon its subjects. The Most High God is like, I need not subject you to anything. If you don't want to listen, you don't have to. There are actions and there are reactions. There are consequences. There are rewards. However, verse 13. And the man was exalted, Isaac, and advancing. He increased till he became very great. And he had cattle of sheep and cattle of oxen and many tilled lands. And the Philistines envied him. No stuff. Because he's in her land. He done came through and he's doing it better than us. Stop it. Can't have it. Verse 15. And all the wells which the servants of his father had dug in the time of his father, the Philistines stopped them and filled them with earth. And Abimelech said to Isaac, depart from us, for thou art become much mightier than we. So stop right there. The king of the land is like, look, bro, you got to leave, bro, because you just got way too much, pimp. Like, you have more than we do and we live here. Got to go. And the people, notice that the Philistines filled up wells that Abraham's servants had done. So check this out. Verse 17. And Isaac departed thence and rested in the valley of Gerar and dwelt there. And Isaac dug again the wells of water which the servants of his father Abraham had dug. And the Philistines had stopped them after the death of his father Abraham. And he gave them names according to the names by which his father named them. And the servants of Isaac, what? And the servants of Isaac dug in the valley of Gerar. And they found there a well of living water. Stop that. You know what that means? That means that a well that has a natural source of water that comes up. We don't have to keep going and digging for parts that have bodies of water within them, and then we get the water out and then dig more wells, right? And what happens is that over time the condensation will build up, they'll fill up full of water, we'll be able to go get them, right? People are like, is that what they're really doing? I'm like, yes. Now when it says that living water, it's speaking that it has a source that it's coming from. So this well continuously fills itself up. Where am I at? There we go. Verse 20. And the shepherds of Gerar, shepherds, and the shepherds of Gerar strove with the shepherds of Isaac, saying that the water was theirs. And they called the name of the well Injury, for they injured him. And having departed thence, he dug another well, and they strove also for that. And he named the name of that Enmity. And he departed thence and dug another well, and they did not strive about that. And he named the name of it Room, saying, because now the Lord has made room for us and has increased us upon the earth. Stop right there. Listen to this. Do you guys hear this fight over natural resources? Whoo, hostile takeover. Whoo! Is anybody hearing your boy? I hope they've been listening to me because I'm reading the actual story to you, telling you what happened with these people, trying to make it make sense to you as to why it is, if you believe that you may be of the seed of Abraham, that is why these things have taken place in your life. Not just in your life, but why they shall continue. Not only because you deserve it, but because your forefathers, who never paid for it, deserved it. And now we pay for their sins. Our forefathers, if that makes you feel better. Note the name of these wells. The first one, injury. Because they injured him being Isaac. That means that Isaac was hurt during this process of putting these wells into place. He had to fight for these. You understand? He and his servants. Do you think Jacob and Esau were not there? Just a question. The other one, enmity. Right. Hatred, because these guys are hating on me. We can call this the well of hating. Because these cats are hating because I dug another well and got it popping. But then, listen, 2/3, right? 2 out of 3, right? The third time, as they want to say, is a charm. But the third time it comes together. And he calls this one room, right? And the reason why he calls it room is because now, between the first 2 wells, can the people of Gerar be blessed through who? The seed of Abraham. Oh, come on now. Let me put it together, because the people of Gerar didn't dig those wells, and that's why they were mad. Let's just go ahead and go forward. Go ahead and push on. And these are people who are, you can argue, may possibly be of larger stature, okay, because of one Nebrah, okay? And the Babylonian Empire may have spread itself out further than people know. And those Hamitic people, before they bred with any Semitic people, may have made all themselves a little larger than life. But we're just going to keep on and go forth. There's no way we can know. There's no way we can know. Verse 23. And he went up thence to the well of the oath, and the Lord appeared to him in that night. Stop right there. And the Lord appeared to him in that night, not the Lord God, and said, I am the God of Abraham, not the Lord God of Abraham, thy father. Fear not, for I am with thee, and I will bless thee, and multiply thy seed for the sake of Abraham, thy father. He built there an altar, and called on the name of the Lord, and there he pitched his tent. And there the servants of Isaac dug a well in the valley of Gerar. And Abimelech came to him from Gerar, and so did Ogazoth, his friend. And there's a term there. It does not really actually make clear. He that gives away in marriage, but that's not, I don't know if that's, anyway, we'll just move on. And Phicol, the commander-in-chief in his army. And his army would be Abimelech, right on. And Ozakoth is his friend, and Phicol, or the guy who gives him away in marriage, so was his best man, right? Or like really his friend. And Phicol, the commander-in-chief in his army. And this is talking about Abimelech's people. Verse 27. And Isaac said to them, Wherefore have ye come to me? Whereas ye hated me, and sent me away from you. And they said, We have surely seen that the Lord is with thee. And we said, Let there be an oath between us and thee, and we will make a covenant with thee, that thou shalt do no wrong by us, as we have not abhorred thee, and according as we have treated thee well, and have sent thee forth peaceably. And now thou art blessed of the Lord. And he made a feast for them, and they ate and drank. Now stop right there. What you're reading right now, you have to read between the lines. Isaac is saying that everything I've been through is because of y'all. And Abimelech is saying like, no, they got nothing to do with us. That's on these dudes. And let us make an oath that you don't like go forth and do something to us now right? Because at that point he was blessed, and they seen that, oh, if he wants to, he can really nut up, right? So they came there to make peace with them. Notice that they made peace only after he made the third well. And now they can lie out the front of their teeth and say, no, we never hated you. But that's neither here nor there. Just understand the struggle of Isaac is real. It was very real. And do you think that his sons were there for none of this? Nay, not none, not a piece. Just being men, huh? And their father couldn't be there to hold them accountable if they done something wrong, or couldn't be there to protect them in case another man of greater means sought to do wrong by them. Come on. Let's just keep it pushing. No, Isaac felt that Abimelech hated him. But there's no need to go into the whole process of you tried to play the people. We'll just keep it pushing. You know how black people get. You know, we feel like we're the victim. You are the victim, but sometimes you do stuff to make yourself the victim. And we're going to keep it pushing. Verse 30. And he made a feast for them, and they ate and drank, and when he is Abimelech. And they arose in the morning, and swore each to his neighbor. And Isaac sent them forth, and they departed from him in safety. And it came to pass in that day that the servants of Isaac came and told him of the well which they had dug. And they said, we have not found water. There we go. And he called it Oath. Therefore he called the name of the city the Well of Oath until this day. So, before I get ready to end the salad, understand that everything that we're reading about, that we just read about, was Isaac's. It is the most important portion of Isaac's life. When we go forth and read about Jacob and why he feared his father, think about this. Spiritual gumbo.